Kansas City, Missouri, number 21, midfielder, Pat Kelly. From Kingston, Jamaica, number 22, forward, Anthony Grant. From Santiago, Chile, number 23, defender, Nacho Flores. From Kearney, Missouri, number 26, forward, Adam James. And now for tonight's starters, from Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico, number 6, defender, Guerrero Pino. From San Jose, Costa Rica, number 9, midfielder and team captain, Brian Perez. From Trinidad and Tobago, number 11, forward, Kyle Williams. From Monrovia, Liberia, number 14, forward, Leo Gibson.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome inside Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Great to have you here on the last day of the regular season in the Major Arena Soccer League alongside Jeff Houston. I'm Nick Vassos. The Kansas City Comets are hosting the Florida Tropics. These two teams meeting for the first time this season. And let's talk a little bit about the Florida Tropics. Like the Comets, they're not going to be in postseason, but they have some really dynamic players. And let's start with number 10, Freddie Mugen, who's just one of the most entertaining players that the league has to offer.
Yeah, you can't talk about the Tropics without talking about Freddie. He is the heart and soul of that team. He's the captain of the team. He's the longest tenured player of the team. He's the first player announced. And the guys really rally around him, whether he's scoring or whether he's providing assists or even just directing traffic on the field. He's the assistant coach, kind of like what Leo is for the team, and everything flows through him on the field.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Kansas City. They're coming off 2 overtime losses, really tough road defeats. But as we talk about this Comets team, yeah, this season has not gone the way that they had hoped it would go by making the postseason. But the good work that they've done during the regular season in developing a few players. Let's talk about some of those players who have really been developed this year.
Oh, well, you know, there's a good correlation to our first year where we had a solid group of young guys that are learning the game and developing in. And it was a rough season that first year, too. But you got guys like Adam James, who came in midway through the season, and he's shown a real knack for scoring, a real good field vision. You got Anthony Grant. He's new to Kansas City. He's got a couple years under his belt already, but he's really learning the game, coming into his own. And then Mark Saxby coming in the last 3 or 4 weeks. That kid, he's excited, he's energetic, he's ready to get out there, and the guys all rally behind him. So there's a lot of great things to build on as we go towards next season.
Guerrero Pino at defender, too. He's another player who's continued his development in a Comets uniform. Well, today's the last regular season game. In fact, the Comets and the Tropics are going to play the last game, the last regular season game in the MASL. And it's kind of an odd feeling for fans and players and coaches and you and I, quite frankly, because we know this is going to be the last game of the year, unlike the 7 previous seasons.
Yeah, it is a weird feeling because in the 7 previous seasons we've known, okay, this is the end of the regular season, but we've got another playoff game. And then when there was a playoff game, okay, this is the last of this series, but hopefully we've got another one. So we always had that next game to look forward to. Now the next game we're looking forward to is December 1st, the season opener for next year. So there's a little bit of an odd feeling to that, but there's a lot of hope, and these guys have a lot of confidence. They want to finish strong. So there's a lot of excitement about tonight's game after all.
Yep, that's for sure. The Tropics and the Comets are coming up. Stay with us on MASL TV. Hi again, everybody, and welcome inside Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. Great to have you here for the final regular season game. Glad to be teamed up with Brian Budzinski once again. My name's Nick Vassos. The Comets and the Florida Tropics meeting for the second time this regular season. Last time these two teams met back in January, and the Comets falling by 1 goal, 7-6. The Comets are coming off a couple of overtime losses last weekend, a 14-13 setback in El Paso, and then after that, a 7-6 setback to the Tacoma Stars just this past Friday night. Comets, of course, want to win this last regular season game, Bud, but let's talk a little bit about the performance last weekend of the Comets' new keeper, Mark Saxby. He's turning out to be a team and fan favorite here in the latter portion of this season, isn't he?
Yeah, I think, Nick, that we found with Mark that, he's a guy that has been training with the team, and he's been working his tail off, and we obviously got thrust into the situation, and he's just embraced it. He's taken the role and just he's ran with it. He's a great chef in the kitchen. He's a great chef. When he's back here in the goal, he's cooking things up, and he's been a valuable addition to the roster, and we like having him.
There you see Freddie Mugin in the center circle. We're underway here at Silverstein. The starting lineups for Florida. In goal, it's Peter Sliwa. The two defenders, Lucas Teixeira and Lucas Monteleras. Midfield area, Anthony Arrico, and the two forwards will be Freddie Mugin and Rafael Schempler. Comets wearing their traditional blue uniforms. Florida coming in with their orange jerseys and shorts and socks. Starting for the Comets in goal, as just we talked about, Mark Saxby. He'll be making his 4th start of the season. He's 1-2. The two forwards in front of him, Guerrero Pino and Mirko Sandavari. Midfielders, Brian Perez, Kyle Williams, and the starting forward, the great Leo Gibson. We're underway. The Comets with a record of 6-15, hosting the Florida Tropics with a record of 10-11. Both these teams eliminated from postseason a couple of weekends ago. But this game right here you're watching is the last regular season game in the major arena soccer leagues before the playoffs begin next week. And it's kind of a new situation for the Comets this year, Bud, one that you found yourself in back in 2010 along with some of the other people I've talked to when the Comets were reborn again here at Silverstein. It feels different, but yet sort of similar in a lot of ways too, because there's been a lot of building going on this season.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while, since the Comets haven't been a part of the playoffs. And I think this year with a lot of the roster changes and brought in some youth, and
here's a chance by the Comets. Sliwa right out there. Now Anthony Grant with a second chance out in front of the goal, and Sliwa kicks it away.
I think you've got two teams playing right here between the Tropics and the Comets that both had a little bit higher expectations, regardless of what the Comets situation. But I know, personally, down with the Tropics, they expected to be in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I think both teams have a lot to look forward to for next year. There's a lot of really good pieces on both these rosters.
And Florida was there for the bit better part of the season there. They just got edged out by Syracuse, who claimed the second spot in the East.
Yeah, the East is a tough bracket. I mean, with Syracuse, the Silver Knights, Tommy Tanner's group there is very strong. Obviously, the Baltimore Blast.
How about Tavernisi for Syracuse this year, man? He's been great.
He's had a great year, And there's some guys here with this Tropics roster, some of my favorite players in the league, right? One of them right there on the ball you see right there, Freddie Mugen, one of the great players in this league, great personality, very active in the community down there. And
Pros Pro
down in Lakeland, and also one of the top left-footed players in this league, Mauricio Salas.
Oh.
You want to talk about a heavy ball? We're going to see a heavy ball come off that left foot here in this match. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to tell you, you're going to see a heavy ball come off that foot for a goal from Mauricio Salas.
Pino with some heat from downtown. That one got just above the hand of Sliwa, but couldn't find the target. Now a long one in there, headed by James, and Sliwa snares it out of the air. Comets and Tropics scoreless here early in the first quarter. Pat Kelly is in there. Had some changes. Now Adam James takes it deep into the corner for the Comets. Now away from the goal. Perez all the way back to Saxby. Now to Perez. Tropics coming off a loss as well. They lost last night in Milwaukee, 7-3 to the Central Division champs.
Great crowd up there in Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
Over 6,000 fans. It's good to see, man. I watched that game on the broadcast there, and Art Kramer and Tom Wynn obviously doing a great job. But, man, what an electric atmosphere. Look forward to watching that playoff game. I believe it's March 11th against Cedar Rapids up there in Milwaukee. That arena will be rocking.
Yep, that'll be Sunday, March 11th, when Cedar Rapids travels to Milwaukee. Game time 2:05. Of course, this is the first time in 7 years that the Wave will have a new opponent in the first round of the playoffs, the divisional round. It'll be Cedar Rapids this year as opposed to, Kansas City. Sandovari there with a touch. Florida trying to clear it out of their end. They do get it back to the Comets' half of the field, and then Rodriguez there boots it back towards Saxby. Saxby forward to Sandovari. Sandovari had it knocked away by the Tropics. Picked up there by Florida near the half line. There's Lucas Teixeira. Now he plays it forward. And then back to their keeper, Sliwa. Here's Freddie Mugen with a touch. And then back to Mugen. Can he catch up with it? Nope. Saxby comes running out of goal and heads it back towards the half line. Anthony Arico is there for Florida. And Arico plays it forward to Mugen. Boy, giving Freddie all kinds of space. He turns and fires. And a good recovery there by Nacho to block the shot. Andre Braithwaite comes out with the rebound for the Comets. 10.5 to play in the first. And no score between these two teams. The first game in that Central Division playoff will not be in Cedar Rapids, but they've had to move the game to the Odeum in Villa Park, Illinois, because of some scheduling conflicts there at U.S. Cellular. Now here's Tim Kloster with a chance, and that one blocked by Florida. Getting a chance to see some new, fresh faces here, and Tim Kloster, as well as Mirko Sandovari, for fans who may not have seen those two players.
Yeah, and then Troy McCarroll as well. The Scotsman's in here playing. Both Tim and Mirko played very well up in Tacoma against the Stars on Friday night, and it's good to see these young guys getting some opportunities here with the season.
Here's Gibson over to Sinclair. Sinclair shoots and hits it just wide. Sinclair measured that one. Now Anthony Grant got in there. Rebound, goal! Leo Gibson right there to pounce on the rebound, and the Comets are on the board first. It's 1-0.
A couple good opportunities right there for the Comets, and you saw Dane, as you said, he measured it. It might have taken just a little bit too long to put that on, on frame here, but what you like is, Leo's nice little give go here with Anthony. Nice turn. And then Leo, you know, what's he got? He's got a nose for the goal, right? I mean, that's Leo Gibson right there.
Leo, his 28th goal on the season. Leo, the 4th leading scorer in the MASL. How about that for Leo Gibson?
Comets goal, scorer number 14, Leo Gibson. Assist by number 22.
And we'll give Anthony Grant the assist. That's his 4th of the year.
15 seconds in the first quarter.
1-0 Kansas City over Florida in the last regular season game in the MASL. Here come the Tropics. Out wide to Salas. Salas, there's that heavy ball you were talking about, Bud, and that one blasts right off the feet of Ignacio Flores Nacho.
Well, and you saw Freddie Mugin, he was creeping down on the back post. I mean, listen, if you got Freddie Mugin and Mauricio Salas up top here, like these are two dangerous forwards.
Salas, all those great years in Rochester, spent some time in Ontario, now in Florida.
I'll tell you, one of the best goals I've ever seen live, and Stefan Stokic is not going to like this where I'm going with this, Nick. Mauricio Salas, bicycle kick, volleyed it to himself, bicycle kicked it over Stefan Stokic, over Danny Waltman, one of the best live goals I've ever seen in my entire life.
I remember that goal. Incredible. Now Mugin. Mugin leaves it, shot, and a quick reaction save there by Saxby. That one came off the foot of Arico. And some pretty quick reactions there by Saxby. Comets trying to get it out of their last third. Perez being pressured by 2 orange jerseys. Good job, BP. Gets it out to Kyle Williams. He avoids a couple defenders. Forward up to Adam James. Comets now setting up their offense. Kyle darts inside one defender. Fires the shot. That one blocked by the Tropics. Ball pinballing around, and the Comets will take over and reset. Nacho and Perez will go off. Rodriguez and Kloster come on, along with Braithwaite. Fresh legs out there for Kansas City. Sandivari's got it. Now Rodriguez. Under 8 to play in the first. 1-0 KC. Pino drives one into the corner for Braithwaite. Off the top of the boards. Kloster was in the area, but Florida will take over now. Tropics coming up in their orange jerseys. Pass there that was headed towards Dos Santos is eventually kicked out of bounds, and we have an official timeout on the field. 7:34 left to play in the first. Kansas City 1 and the Tropics nothing. You're watching MASL TV. Alongside Brian Budzinski, Nick Vassos. Great to have you here on the last game of the regular season for the 17-18 campaign. There's a live look at Lucas Rodriguez in the Comets' iconic uniform. Hey, speaking of uniforms, fans that are here at Silverstein are bidding on those classic, iconic white Comet jerseys, and they've got those throughout the arena, and they're game-worn jerseys. Those are prized possessions, and some fans are going to walk away with one of those jerseys tonight because of a silent auction.
We have not sold any of the whites all season long. So, yeah, those are prime real estate.
I've had 2 people come up to me and say, I stuck around for one of these, because we have these for the pink game and for the military game with these special game-worn jerseys, and they're awesome jerseys. I had a couple people say, oh, I stuck around. I was like, I thought I'd be able to get one of those jerseys. Immediately outbid.
Yeah.
Immediately outbid. Salas with a drive. Saxby, what a save. Rebound, header, save. And a third time, Freddie Mugen knocks it in. It's a goal for Florida. The Comets kept him out twice but couldn't for a third time. And the veteran Mugen knocks it in for the Tropics.
Yeah, Freddie Mugen, man, sitting on the back post, just like a veteran goal scorer, just like you said. Now, what we talk about with those types of hits from Salas, just a monster take right there. Initial save by Saxby's great. Second save by Saxby's great. But you keep knocking on the door, you're going to create your own opportunities. And great job by Saxby on that heavy ball. Boom, again, right here, second time. Freddie Mugen. Who does he remind you of now at his stage of his career that was a Comets forward that would sit on the back post and just tap in goals all the time?
Well, there are so many of them from
the Missouri Comets.
From the Missouri Comets. Oh, God.
Perhaps El Matador?
Byron Alvarez, of course.
Yeah, so there was a saying, guys like Freddie Mugen, we call them diggers, right? And they just sit around and
back at the other end, the Comets strike back. The Comets get behind Florida. And there's the Casey kid, Patrick Kelly.
Nice little backdoor goal right there, Nick. That's a good indoor soccer goal.
Speaking of back post, bud, there he is. Hanging out, having a cup of joe, Patrick Kelly.
Yeah, good job by Andre right here. He keeps this alive, and then he plays this ball up. And immediately, here's the key, Troy McCarroll, man, already knew that Pat Kelly was on the back post. He didn't need to look up for it. You watch right here. Troy already looks up, and he already sees, before the ball even came to him, he knew Pat Kelly was there. So he didn't need to take the extra touch because he already saw that Pat was there. Played the ball over to him.
Great ball from McCarroll.
Yeah, real good ball from Troy.
Wow. Comets back on top, 2-1. Here's Perez. Sandavari. Saxby with it now.
Good ball.
Back to Perez, now forward to Sandavari. Drive there. Broken up by the Tropics, now headed over to BP. Good settle there by Perez. Not a lot of pace on that. Florida comes up with it. Forward it comes on out to Schimpler. Now a whistle and a foul called against Kansas City. Ron Corey, the senior official tonight. Brian Martin, secondary. A couple local guys here reffing the final regular season game in the MASL. Here's Kyle Williams on back to Saxby. Saxby towards Florida's end. We want to make a special announcement and a shout out to a good friend to the Comets organization and fans, and Randall Jones, who is here for every home game as Florida comes down at the other end. And Saxby, wow, off his line to knock it away from Diegas. Randall Jones not here tonight in the regular season finale. He's not feeling well, and we just wanted to recognize him, say that we are thinking about you. We hope you get well, and we will see you soon. Randall Jones.
Randall Jones been here since day one.
Absolutely.
Good soldier for the club. A lot of support. Excellent job. I mean, the game day production the Comets put on, I'm biased, but, man, it's one of the best in the leagues, and Randall's a huge part of that, Nick.
Knows the game. Fan of the game.
Absolutely.
So, Randall, we are thinking about you, pal. Get well soon. Boy, there is another drive from Salas, and that one from 75 feet. That was a frozen rope from 70 feet.
Listen, Nick, it ain't rocket science. Okay, that guy's got a cannon, and you know he wants to shoot. He might be a little bit older than he wants to, but that thing still comes off as a rocket.
Now to the far side, trying to catch up with it there as Nacho is over there. Wall pass in the middle looking for Mujan. Now Arico rolls over the top of it. Now down to Freddie. Ball caroms into Saxby, who's got it. Saxby's up and throwing, and it climbs up over the dasher boards out of bounds. It'll go back to Florida.
See, right there, Nick, it's a turnover by the Comets, but there's nothing wrong with that. Anthony's making a run, and initially Anthony, as I'm watching the game, he tells Saxby, hey, I want the ball over here, so Mark holds it for a couple seconds. He plays over. It's an unfortunate bounce, but those types of things and relationships are, between your forwards and your goalkeeper, those are easy opportunities to create just by communicating with each other.
2-1 Kansas City over Florida. A steal by the Comets. Now Pino trying to chip Sliwa. Oh, if he had it just a little bit to the right, that would have given the Comets a 2-goal lead. Now Anthony Grant chips it to Braithwaite. Braithwaite turns, fires. Sliwa swats it away. Kelly sends it into the last third. Braithwaite tracks it down. Andre waits for some teammates to show up. Now Braithwaite double teamed in the corner. Loses it, and Florida takes it back. Knocked away by the Comets. Regain possession again. Here's Braithwaite again. Andre thought about it. Instead, plays it out to McCarroll. Now the Comets will reset. Braithwaite goes off along with Kelly. Gibson is going to come back on, along with Kyle Williams.
Nice job by Nacho right there. It's nice composed out of the back by both Saxby and Nacho.
Good move by Williams to go by one. Return pass to Williams. Shot and blocked off the line. Might have been Teixeira who did that. Now a long one from Nacho just wide. Both teams with shots from downtown that are just rattling the cage left and right. Under 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. This has been pretty quick. Comets lead 2-1. Taken back by the Comets. Mistake, shot, goal! Mistake in the last third, and the Comets punish the Tropics. It's 3-1.
Yeah, Nick, we'd seen a couple bad distributions by Peter Sulo coming out of the goal right there, and finally one of them kind of caught up to him right there, if you will. I mean, you can't, when you're under a lot of duress, you can't just keep giving that ball back, to the opposing team. You see this ball right here is played. I mean, it's right to a Comet, right to Leo Gibson. And then BP sits right there, nice compose, couple touches. Mirko runs off the ball. It's a real simple goal. But it comes from this ball from Peter Sliwa.
Sandovari, he finds the back of the net.
It's a good look at the young man right there.
Smile on his face. Meanwhile, at the other end, public address announcer Nate Herron with the call. That's cheating. Under a minute to go. 48 seconds to be specific. Here come the Tropics. Mujan. Wall pass. Shot. Goal! Anthony Arico.
I can see that one happening all the way right there. I was literally getting ready to make a comment. Lucas Rodriguez has got to make sure that he's getting back and there's a sense of urgency and understanding where you're at within the time that's left in the quarter right there. And he just doesn't follow his man. It's real plain and simple, Nick.
Boy, doesn't Freddie Mujan make things look so easy out there?
Oh, yeah.
Makes his other teammates better?
Freddie's touch is fantastic, okay? He's always been fantastic. But now watch right here.
He knows what look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a free and clear run for Rico. And Anthony's a good player by himself. He doesn't need anything easy like that. But the key is Lucas Rodriguez did not watch Anthony from half. He let him carry on and with a run right there without marking up on the player.
Walla Scora. Mujin, his 13th assist. Arico, his 12th goal on the year. 15 seconds left in the opening quarter. Here's Anthony Grant. That one blocked out of bounds off Florida. Comets will have it, 10.5 seconds left. There's Anthony Grant.
Anthony's had a good year for us so far. Imagine if he actually got to play in 22 games, Nick.
Yeah, this is his 14th game, bud. 16 goals in 14 games.
Yeah, imagine if he played in 22.
Uh-huh. Yep. The guy behind the ball here also has really progressed in his second year, talking about Nacho. Now Gibson, left side. Gibson. Well, that one got all the way through. 2 seconds, one. Horn sounds as Sliwa ranges in front of his goal, and that ends the first 15 minutes. Pretty entertaining between these two teams. And at the end of one, it is the Kansas City Comets 3 and the Florida Tropics 2. You're watching MASL TV.
Station. Book your next stay at StonyCreeksHotel.com. Stony Creek Hotel and Convention Center, the official hotel of the Comets. Please welcome back to the field the Comets girls under the direction of Gretchen Bretz, presented by Expressions Dance Studios. We have special guests tonight, the Comets girls alumni joining us this evening. Let's give them a round of applause. Comets girls and the Comets girls alumni.
How could I possibly be expected to go without Domino's on a day like this? Alexa, ask Domino's to place my easy order.
Ordering Domino's.
Life moves pretty fast. If you can't track your pizza, you could miss it.
Order 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each and track them on your favorite device.
Brian Perez and Leo Gibson returning to the field for the second quarter. Alongside Brian Budzinski, I am Nick Vassos. We are so glad that you have spent part of your time here on MASL TV. We also want to thank Devin Brower and Chris Wright, as well as Jeff Houston here helping us out on the broadcast this evening between the Comets and the Tropics. Kansas City leading 3-2 as the second quarter is now underway. Both teams switch ends here. Now the Tropics moving left to right. It kicked out of bounds, and the Comets are going to get a great chance here. Right at the top of the arc here. There's the legend, Coach Kim, and assistant coach Jeff Davis chatting over a little strategy there, maybe setting up something here on the restart. Here's Lucas. Flicks it back for Williams. That ball bounced just a little bit before Williams could take that shot, so maybe not the best take there from Williams. Meanwhile, at the other end, the Tropics, Mujan is down there in the corner with Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams shielding away the defender using that body of his. And it pops out of bounds.
Good work by Kyle down the corner right there.
It's right by our photographer there on the side of the road. We got a really good view here of the action inside Silverstein. That's a good-looking shot right there.
Good little look by Freddie Mujan right there. Make sure he gets every inch that he wants on that set piece. Looks around, where's that Mauricio Salas? See Mujan over his left side, ball's going to...
Mujan fires it right in the middle. He gets it back. Another take. That one off the window to the right. Rebound comes off to Gibson of the Comets.
Right there, Nick, I want to tell you, great job by our camera crew, okay? That's just fantastic, high-level.
Oh, boy, a good chance there on the redirection by Rodriguez, but a little off the mark here, out of bounds off Florida, and the Comets will keep it.
Brad Zimmerman and his group do a great job. That's a prime example of it right there. Getting to see literally the vantage point that Freddie Mujan's seeing right there on the field on that low camera angle.
Gibson played it back to Perez, but he vacated the area, and here come the Tropics, a 3v2. Out wide, Teixeira, shot, goal! Lucas Coutinho scores. And the Tropics have tied the game at 3.
Well-executed 3v2 by the Tropics. You're going to see this. See immediately what's he doing. He gets the middle of the field, right?
Waiting.
And then wherever Nacho commits, that's where you play the ball. The defender tells you where to play the ball. So as soon as Nacho steps, what's he do? Plays that ball over to Nacho's side. And then a nice one-touch ball right there across. It's a well-executed 3v2. That's how you draw it up, Nick.
So for Lucas Coutinho, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, his 9th goal on the year. And I did not, I think it was it Teixeira that got the assist on that, or was it Anthony Arrico? We'll double check. There's Braithwaite with a wall pass looking for Closter in there. Oh, Braithwaite gets it back. Oh, maybe he should have taken that one instead of passed it. In any case, Florida gets it back. Picking it up there is Ty Hall. Ty Hall in those long dreads that bounce on top of the numbers 1 and 5.
I've seen Ty Hall in quite a few different uniforms.
Yep.
Pennsylvania Roar is where we first saw him, I believe, Nick. And good player in the league, a lot of speed.
Baltimore, Maryland native. He's got a goal and 2 assists in 19 games for the Tropics. There's Brian Martin. The assistant referee is going to walk off the distance for the wall. The Comets are going to have it.
I think you're going to see a heavy ball from Andre right here.
Pino flicks it back to Andre, who takes it. That one off the glass near side. Sinclair coming up with the rebound. Marked by Arrico. Now back to Braithwaite. Game tied at 3. Tropics and Comets winding up, wrapping up the MASL regular season. Anthony takes one from 70. That one blocked by Hall and Dos Santos. Now the pass forward to Braithwaite. Braithwaite rolls it in a couple times. Pass over to Pino. Pino to Kelly. Kelly marked by Arrico, then back to Pino. Comets with a record of 6-15. And Florida a record of 10-11. Both teams eliminated from the playoffs. Playoffs get underway Thursday with several divisions getting underway. Here's Sinclair, top of the arc. Over to Pino. There's some games happening today that are almost a preview of the playoffs. You've got the Sonora del Sols taking on the Monterey Flash. Here's a drive from downtown. That one gets through but kicked away. That game will have no impact on the upcoming playoffs. Rico shoves down Kelly, and Anthony called for the foul. A couple of words from Perez and Rico. Now Ty Hall steps in. Everybody exchanging pleasantries.
Now, if you'll remember, Nick, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
Yeah.
If you remember down when the Comets played down in Lakeland, game got a little chippy down there as well. And so you've got Rico and Mujin that have been with St. Louis Ambush, and then they moved down here. So these guys are familiar with each other here. Some of that stuff's probably carried over a little bit.
Here's Dos Santos. Plays it far side to Mujin. Boy, Mujin always seems to be around the ball. A lot of the offense goes through Freddie Mujin, who steps off the field for a moment. Marco Rodriguez is there. He plays a long ball, off target, right to Kansas City. Kyle Williams trying to get past Pereira. Plays it back to Pino. Now Pino floats one long for James. James in the left wing corner. Marked there by Rodriguez. James back to Lucas Rodriguez of the Comets. Then over to Nacho. Nacho right side Williams. 10.5 to play in the first half. We're tied at 3. Here's Nacho. Steps over it. Right side. McCarroll in the middle. James is there. The Tropics defense holds. And now back in there. Shot by Closter. Just wide. Rodriguez pops it up into the air. And a foul called on Troy McCarroll. Comets fans and McCarroll not happy about it.
Foul number 19, McCarroll, his first of the half.
That silence you're hearing from me, Nick, is I have no opinion.
It's all right. When Ron Corey watches the game tape, he'll hear that, or lack thereof.
I mean, sometimes when two guys are jumping for a ball, a player is allowed to stand and not jump, right? Now, as long as he's not backing into the player, he's allowed to do that.
Teixeira, right side Dos Santos. Now Salas. Mauricio Salas, forward into the corner to Mujin. Salas! Boy, that take there from the far touchline. It got through. Anthony Rico with the touch now. Dos Santos near the center circle.
I'll tell you, Salas gets me excited, man. Anytime that ball's on that left peg of his, I get excited.
Do you remember? Well, you remember when multi-point scoring was still in effect? How many threes would that guy have?
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick little story. Sam Fantuzzo, the owner of the Rochester Lancers,
Yeah.
the reason he wanted to keep multi-point scoring is because he had Mauricio Salas. That's why he's voting all the time for it. Because he had the best three-point shooter in the league.
Makes perfect sense. 8.5 to play. Here comes Anthony Grant. That one deflected by Sliwa. Cleared away by the Tropics. Comets reset on the center circle. Pino. Right side Kelly. Now forward Anthony Grant. Comets on offense. Front and center to Pino. Comets go for some possession here. All the way back to Saxby. Saxby 1 and 2 as a member of the Comets. Now left side Kelly. Kelly had some space, gives it back to Anthony Grant, who shoots, and that one just above the crossbar. Now Sandovari, he has some space. Why not give it a shot? That one deflects right off the Tropics. Let's see if Florida can get something going the other way, and they almost do with Dieguez, their leading scorer, sliding in there, but Saxby got to the ball first. Kelly back with it for the Comets. Now Leo tried to get it into Brian Perez. The ball caroms back out front, and the Comets will reset their offense with 7:20 left to play in the first half.
I'll tell you, the Tropics are doing a good job of sitting 5 guys behind the ball and then making the Comets have to work for it, and then they try to transition out. It's just like that right there, right? There's no need. Game's tied 3-3. Sit back behind the ball. No, don't kill yourself with a bunch of high pressure and make the Comets have to earn it. So what you got to do if you're a Comets player or if you're a fan watching here, it's the off-the-ball movement is the key for the Comets.
Saxby long for Leo. Headed by Florida towards the half line. Victor Pereira thought there might have been a foul. Leo's got some space now. Salas, Monteleris was in front of him. Big number 90, Monteleris. Now Pino with a drive. That one wide right. Florida's got everybody behind the ball. Teixeira. Oh, played it back. Bad pass. Kyle Williams tripped up by Sliwa. Penalty coming out. Comets are going to go on the power play here. And it looks like we might have a shootout here.
Yeah, bad turnover. Sliwa did exactly what you got to do in that situation. You got to go. You got to take player and ball because otherwise, Kyle's going to score. It's nothing malicious right there and on Sliwa's part, but that's what you have to do in that situation.
So one of the we'll get to see what the shootout is all about. We don't see this too often in the game anymore. We used to see a lot more of this back in multi-point scoring.
It's one of my favorite plays of indoor soccer, arena soccer.
Yep.
I love the shootout. What a lot of people don't realize is there's so much strategy involved in it. A lot of teams will have a slower player that'll take it and have a speed guy come off on either side, and they'll just play the ball off and lay it off to him for a better angle and catch the defending team napping. There's all kinds of different things you can do right here, and just you'll notice from our angle here, the Comets just subbed Anthony Grant on, Nick, and O'Dane Sinclair and Kyle Williams on the other side of Brian Perez.
Uh-huh. Ron Corey is over at the referee's crease, making it official.
Assessed to number 1, Sliwa. After further review and instant replay, a shootout has been awarded to the Comets. Shootout being taken by number 9, Brian Perez.
Aha! We mentioned, well, first let's get the shootout going here. 6:22, Perez behind the ball.
Good angle right here.
So a whistle here, and we did see Kyle Williams race down the right side, Bud, just as you had mentioned a moment ago. So once Perez touches it, here he goes. He shoots, and he scores. And on the other side, it looked like Teixeira may take him down, Kyle Williams. But BP picks up the goal, and the Comets are back on top, 4-3. For Brian Perez, that is goal number 22 on the year.
Brian Perez, calm, cool, professional goal right there. Took that thing nice and simple. The key on there's a couple ways to do those things, and Nick, is you can take it early before the keeper can reduce the angle, right? That's one thought. The other is you can take it deep and try to individually beat the goalkeeper and just walk it in the goal. The other is you can have one of the flanking guys coming off half from a speed and you lay it off to that guy. There's a couple different ways. All these teams have all these different strategies, and a lot of times it depends on the guy that's actually taking the shot, tells everybody else on the team what's actually happening.
That's great insight. I don't think a lot of people know all that strategy with the shootout. Now the Comets get a steal. Here comes Leo Gibson to Lucas Rodriguez. Oh, he flicked it back to Leo, who tried to get it over to McCarroll, and then it's kicked out of bounds, and the Comets will have a chance here on the restart. Leo a little frustrated there, but
Leo's rolling his eyes, and he's rolling his eyes at Lucas right there. That's what he's doing. He's saying, Lucas, just be selfish. Put the ball in the back of the net. I don't want to work that hard. I just won the 50-50. I rolled on the ground, and I separated from the defender, and I gave you a great ball. Just put it in and give me an assist. I don't need any more goals, Lucas.
Timeout on the field.
Our facilities are literally better than any facilities in the United States. Congratulations to all of you who have made Heartland Soccer the largest league in the United States.
Good work, good job.
Visit Independence invites you to explore your own backyard. Hop aboard a mule-drawn wagon and tour the historic Independence Square. Stand in the jail cell that once housed notorious outlaw Frank James, or discover the wonders of westward expansion at the National Frontier Trails Museum.
All right, we're back out from the media timeout. Brian Budzinski, Nick Vassos. Comets and Tropics wrapping up the regular season. Kansas City leading 4-3, and they'll have a restart here at the top of the arc. Leo Gibson behind the ball with Salas, Arico, and Mujin in the wall. Flicked it back, Leo. Now Perez shoots, and that one blocked out of bounds. Good defense there by Teixeira and the rest of the Tropics. And a good execution there on the restart from an offensive standpoint. Comets did everything they wanted to do there, but Florida countered with good defense there and was able to knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, it's staying assignment sound if you're the Florida Tropics right there. A lot of times guys will get flustered, and they'll maybe lose focus after the initial, ball has been blocked. That's a good job of making sure you stay tight. I like this by the Tropics right here, Nick. You've got big, tall Mauricio Salas in the wall, and so you're cutting off an angle. So what you're doing is you're saying, okay, Lucas Rodriguez is a lefty. He's not going to be able to shoot here because Salas is on the ball in the wall.
And Lucas hammers it right off the wall. I don't know if Arico or Salas got it, but that's going to leave a mark. 5:48 left to play in the first half. 4-3 KC over Florida. It's the second meeting between these two teams. In January, the Tropics earned a very close 7-6 victory over the Comets. In fact, this year, did you know that 13 of the Comets' games have been decided by 2 goals or less? Yeah. It just goes to show you how close things have been for the Comets this year of rebuilding. And now the Comets break free. Kyle Williams down the right side. Bumped from behind, and that allows Sliwa to come up and take it over. Arico, then forward to Salas. Mauricio Salas back to Anthony Arico, and the Tropics will set up their offense.
Kyle's touch got a little heavy right there, got in front of him, and just lost that opportunity. I think he was trying to make sure he got himself in between that defender to get the foul in case it happened, and I don't know that he needed to do all that.
Here's Mujin into the target. A shot, a block, and then a save by Saxby. Good defense there by the Comets. Really good spot, good time. And Anthony Grant comes out the other way, gets tripped up. Ty Hall goes down. He's shaken up. Shot, goal! Freddie Mujin ties it at 4. Mujin is second on the night, 22nd on the year, and the Trops and the Comets tied again at 4.
Freddie Mujin. Turnover by the Comets. Leaving a premier goal scorer all by himself. Folks, he's going to finish that all day long. Good ball right over there, Freddie. Nice first touch. Touches that out right in front of him so that he's got the options to choose. He can get that with the inside of his foot. He can hit it with the laces, and he can take another touch if he wants to, depending on if keeper goes to ground.
Wow. Well, we talked about Mujin at the beginning of this broadcast. He has proven us right. Got to keep an eye on Freddie Mujin. Steal by Florida and then taken back by Braithwaite to the Comets. Good 360 move by Andre. Look at Andre go. Andre and then lost it. Back the other way come the Tropics. They swing it out wide to Schlemper. Excuse me, Schlemper. I'll get it right. Here's Dos Santos, now Salas. 3.5 to play in the first half. Tied at 4. Kansas City looking for their 7th win. Tropics trying to finish the season at 500. 11 up and 11 down. Teixeira. Dos Santos, now Salas. Salas pass. A little bit off the mark. Kloster's over there with the Comets, and he draws the foul. Dos Santos takes him down. Foul called on Florida. Comets will have it. Quick restart by Kansas City. Lofted into the corner to Braithwaite. Braithwaite moves back. Shot is blocked out of bounds off of Salas.
Great job by both Andre and Salas on that. Nice first touch by Andre. Pulled the cut down, made Salas go to ground, but Salas stayed big. Get the tip with the foot. And again, you see now here on this wall, look what the Tropics are doing right here. They've got big Salas in here, so you're just eliminating any. So they've got the Comets have to go away from goal with their pass here.
Perez to Nacho, exactly what they did, away from the goal. Now Nacho tries the right side and Gibson. Deflected out by number 19, Dos Santos, Guillermo Dos Santos. Kyle Williams had it in the middle, and then Dos Santos lifts it towards the center circle. Rodriguez back there for the Comets. 2 minutes and 36 seconds left to play. Long one to Adam James. Nearly redirected it on the header. Now a drive by Williams, no good. Can Nacho get something going here? Nacho pinned up against the boards by Arico. Ball squirts free. Teixeira is there. To Salas, now to Arico. Back to Salas. Florida traveling with 13 players this weekend. Again, they lost last night in Milwaukee, 7-3. They are wrapping up the regular season as well here in Kansas City. There's Pereiras on back to Sliwa. Peter Sliwa, 8-7 on the year. Excuse me. His goals against average is 6.16. And has nearly a 70% save percentage. Monteleras back to Sliwa. Comets are going to sit back a little bit. Sliwa kicks it, and the Comets take over. 1:29 left to play.
I'll tell you, you see right there another example of, Peter kind of putting his team on in a bad spot with distribution. But the Comets, they're giving the ball right back. There's another example right there. Pino and Pat Kelly on the wrong page, and then, boom, look where Freddie Mujin's sitting at, Nick. Keep an eye on him.
Big save from Mark Saxby.
Saxby comes up with a pretty good save there. Big one for the Comets. Keeps the game tied. And at the other end, Troy McCarroll trying to slip one past Sliwa. Tries it again. Sliwa makes the save. And a penalty is coming up. Handball.
Sliwa's out of the box.
Sliwa's out of the box.
It's a good ball by Adam James and Troy McCarroll. We'll see if this is going to be a shootout again.
Another shootout's going to be awarded to Kansas City.
Well, I'm not sure. I think the boys are negotiating right now with referee Brian Martin.
Yep, it's going to be a shootout, bud. Yeah, if you're a Comets fan, I think you'd rather have the shootout based on the special teams play of the Comets on the power play this year.
I absolutely agree with that statement, Nick. That's the set pieces, power plays, have struggled for the Comets, quite frankly.
Mujin's going to go serve the penalty for Sliwa, who is penalized for the second time tonight.
It's a good shot here of Mr. Anthony Grant by our camera crew. You got Anthony Grant sitting here, and then just to the right is Kyle Williams, and then the next is a Florida Tropics right here. You got two track stars.
Here comes Perez out wide. Perez takes Sliwa, saves it. Now Kansas City on the power play. 5v4.
Number 10, Mujin, sent to the marker.
And Leo's directing traffic. Leo, the assistant coach out there on the floor, so Leo shouting some instructions. 30 seconds to play in the first half. Shot from downtown. Sliwa got a piece of that one to direct it wide. Comets 19% on the power play this year. They have only connected on 8 power plays in 42 opportunities. Drive by Gibson, no good. Teixeira clears it. 4 seconds left. 3. 1 from downtown off the top of the glass. The horn sounds. And the game remains tied at 4 as we go into halftime. The Comets will have 1 minute and 6 seconds on the power play when both teams return to the field. So a 4-all game here between the Trops and the Comets. What are your observations in the first half, Bud?
I think you're seeing part of the reason that both these teams are not in the playoffs, right? You've got some mistakes that both teams are having that they're not capitalizing on, and I think that's probably what you're seeing. Excuse me, Nick. We'll go down here with Jeff Husted and Coach Runtbed.
You bet.
So far, back and forth, back and forth. What are your thoughts on the first half?
A couple of defensive mistakes, but I think we're looking good. We've had a couple of fast breaks we probably should have scored on, so I think they're a little fortunate. It's a tie game right now. But can I grab the opportunity to say thank you to all our loyal fans. Thank you for coming out all year. You're the best. Appreciate everything you do for the players. Thank you so much. So
we all appreciate them. Thank you very much, Kim.
So I think you heard Coach Runtbed allude to it there, Nick, a little bit. You know, there's some – I think both teams are probably kind of lucky to be sitting here tied 4-4 when you've got a lot of mistakes both ways or teams not capitalizing on situations that they should. But, you know, these are the reasons why these teams are at this place, at this time of the year in the season.
All right. We'll take a break here. The annual mascot game is coming up, so that should be entertaining for those of you watching online. And then we'll be back here for the third quarter. We'll also update the scores from around the MASL, and we also will go over the MASL playoff schedule that is on the way. At the half, it's the Comets and Tropics tied at 4.
Eight 318. If that's yours, make sure you redeem it right there at the Harvester's tables and the concourse. field full of them soon as we get all of our Harvesters Comet balls picked up. Don't forget the 50-50 raffle out in the concourse benefiting the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society. And our silent auction for the white rainbow unis, game-worn jerseys from the Kansas City Comets Road. North Kansas City Hospital is the exclusive medical provider of the Comets. From minor injuries to serious trauma or illness, their team of medical specialists is equipped to handle all of your healthcare and sports medicine needs. Stay at the top of your game with North Kansas City Hospital. The Beef Jerky Outlet in Independence is conveniently located just south of the Silverstein Ice Centers Arena. Stop in for a free sample of their many varieties of jerky. Andy the Armadillo from Texas Roadhouse. Mac from the Mavericks is here with what appears to be an illegal weapon on the field. Samurai Mac. From the Pause for Autism, we got the Snoopy, the Bonnie Peanut, Donatello there for Pause for Autism. We've got my favorite. We've got a penguin from the Kansas City Zoo here today. Penguin, a defensive force in last year's mascot game. Force to be reckoned with. We've got Sparky the Spark Plug from Central Auto Racing, their kids club. We got Kung Fu Panda. All sorts. Now, Las Vegas has not wagered in on who the favorite in this game is, but we do have members of the Imperial Senate. We got Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine. Got one of the Emperor's guards here. He's just going to go have a seat on the bench, it looks like. But Calvin's our ref. We're going to get started. Let's get going, man. Quit teasing the people. Give them what they want. Both mascot teams implementing a little scene strategy, Steve. That is the no goalie formation. They're already using the 13th attacker. Spider-Man has abducted a child from the crowd and has run out onto the field. Spider-Man looks like he's enjoying it. The child, jury's out.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go. Make some noise. Here we go.
We got Mac. He shoots. He scores. Throws his stick in the air in victory.
Too easy. Too easy.
All right, Darth Vader going to get us on the restart here with the gorilla. The gorilla's got a little hitch in the giddy up here. Casey Wolf Can't say that was a shot on goal or a pass, Steve.
Oh.
Dirty play by Mr. Bunny with Chick-fil-A cows.
Lost
Foot
the
came
shoe.
off. Just lost a hoof.
What happened to Casey Wolf there? Come on.
We are nearing halftime of our mascot game. About 30 seconds remaining. We've been promised a breathtaking halftime display of our mascot game.
And it's a dog pile.
All right, the mascots have taken to playing soccer like a bunch of first graders. So everyone cluster around the ball, and somehow it goes in the goal. Tie game. And that's halftime. It is halftime, cutting Spider-Man off. No goal, Spidey. Sorry. Uncle Ben would be disappointed. All right, we've got a halftime performance. Mascots, are you ready? Steve, they promised a breathtaking halftime performance. I believe they delivered. We got to find the ball here. Calvin's got the ball. We're ready for a restart. Come on, Calvin. This is your game. Let's get started. Spider-Man says, I don't need no time. Let's go. Kids, you may be wondering why many of the mascots are running around holding on to their heads. It's not to keep their heads on. They're just that excited to be taking part in this game. A goal! 2-1 for one set of the mascots. Steve, act natural. The Dark Lord of the Sith is coming over here.
We lost Spider-Man again. Spider-Man.
A yellow card assessed to Mac. Mac looks like he's dropped the gloves. Emperor Palpatine getting involved.
Uh-oh, here we go, Casey Wolf.
That was nearly high sticking. Got about a minute and a half left in this game. Still anyone's game at 2-1. Spider-Man slow dribbling. Another goal! 3-1! Kansas City Zoo's Penguin is excited. So is the Harvester's Turkey. Casey Wolf just looking upon his team. Looks like he has a Donatello just getting hit in the head.
Here we go, Casey Wolf.
Oh my goodness. A goal for Casey Wolf. 3-2. We've got 40 seconds remaining. The Penguin is perturbed. Do they call wing balls in indoor soccer with mascots? No? All right, I didn't hear a whistle. 15 seconds remaining. Oh. Spider-Man probably shattering a femur on that play. And a goal! That is the end of our game. And in a fashion everyone can appreciate, a 3-3 tie. Nicely done. We're going to give all of our mascots come to the center of the field for a picture. Got to commemorate this event. Luckily, Spider-Man has accelerated healing powers. He'll be fine here in about 2 minutes. Oh, man, Spider-Man. All right, a big hand for all of our mascots, our annual mascot game. Nicely done, everyone. The Comets want to say thank you to all the groups and special guests in attendance tonight. Welcome to FCKC Villarreal U11 Boys. Welcome to KC Legends Pizzazz 09 Girls. SC United Hurricanes U13 Boys. LSC Duro U13 Boys. FCKC Atletico U14 Girls. Nothing But Net U14 U15 Girls. Blackfire Strikers U12 Boys. Welcome to Legacy FC HS Girls. Welcome to Raymore United U11 and U12 Boys teams. MPFC U8, U9, and U12 through U15 Girls teams. MPFC U10 through U12 and U14 through U16 boys teams. Welcome to the Nature Play Preschool for joining us this evening. Welcome to Real KC U9 through U15 boys and girls teams. And welcome to Brazil FC Wolfpack. We'd like to welcome the following teams that are in Suite 10 tonight. KCML Soccer League directors representing Raytown SC, David Hickson. Happy birthday to Caesar and Lauren Surdick. Happy 10th birthday to Chase Stout. Happy birthday to Michaela Rodriguez. Happy 8th birthday to Bear Gibson. Happy 13th birthday to Brent Maurer. Happy birthday to Comets forward Adam James. Comets forward Guy Gomez. Happy birthday to Jeff Husted of the Kansas City Comets. And a very happy 49th birthday, that's 49, that's one shy of 50, to the Kansas City Comets, Scott Levinson. The Comets girls would like to wish a very happy birthday to Sarah King. Hope this is the best year yet. A lot of birthdays in the house today. Tonight's media meal is provided by Pit Stop Barbecue, McAllister's Deli, and Fazoli's. All right, let's check out the first half highlights up on Comets Vision.
All right, both teams back out on the field to begin the third quarter. Great to have you here. Brian Budzinski, Nick Vassos at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena. The game is tied at 4. Both teams back out there on the field. And reminder that the Comets will go on the power play to begin this third quarter. They have 1 minute and 6 seconds left on the advantage.
Key here, Nick, is how long can the Tropics keep the ball off the kickoff here and keep the Comets team from having possession to run their power play and get things set up. That's the whole key right here. Is it 4 seconds? Is it 18 seconds? Is it 23, right?
Let's see. Arico goes back to Sliwa. Sliwa up to Arico. Arico gets by another Comet player. Shot and a save is made by Saxby. A shorthanded try there by Anthony Arico, who has 2 shorthanded goals on the year. That was making his bid for a third. All right, now the Comets have the ball. Let's see if they can get something set up here on the power play. Again, the Comets have performed poorly on power plays, only 18%. Nacho tried to turn and volley there, ran into the defender. Florida kicks the ball long. That'll burn about 10 seconds. 20 seconds left on the advantage to the Comets. Maybe one more try here. Here's Perez. Perez into open space, and it gives the ball right to Florida. And with 11 seconds left, Florida's basically going to churn out the last few seconds of power play. 5 seconds left on the advantage to the Comets. Perez forward to Leo. Here's Mujan, comes back on the field. Both teams at even strength. So once again, the Comets fail on the power play. They're now 8 of 43 on the power play. 8 for 43. Here's Leo. Leo shoots. That one had some crazy curve on it to the right.
Give me that number again.
8 for 43. Another try by the Comets. Goes wide of target.
I don't think that's good. 8 for 43, right? That's a bad number, Nick.
8 for 43.
I'm good with numbers usually. I feel like 8 for 43 is not a good percentage. Now, Nick, what did we say right there off the kickoff? He said, is it going to take 4 seconds, 16, 20, something? No, it took 35 for the Comets to get the ball. And the Tropics had an opportunity on goal.
Comets made just these little tiny mistakes on the power play, and that's just, as you pointed out at halftime, Bud, it's just those little mistakes that have really made the difference for the Comets and the Tropics this year. It's the difference between winning and losing. And again, 13 games have been decided by 2 goals or less, and there is a drive off the foot of Dieguez. And Dieguez is their leading scorer. He has 27 goals on the season.
A very good year for the Tropics. Good-looking player in the league right now.
Dieguez from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The Tropics have, by my count, 7 Brazilians on this team. And they've traveled with 13 here tonight. Under 12 to play in the third. We're tied at 4. Sliwa sends it into the corner. Pino is there for the Comets. Pino plays it back out. Somehow gets it through to Dieguez, who touches it in. Pino's mad at himself there. The Comets give one up. And it's now 5-4 Florida.
It's a bad giveaway by Pino right there. It's very similar to what he did on Friday night against Tacoma. There's no need to rush that ball out of the back right here. You got Pat Kelly wide open on the other side. You got your goalkeeper you could play.
So Dieguez, he picks up his 28th goal.
Easy one for Dieguez right there, too, Nick.
No question. And that is Florida's first lead of the game. First lead of the game for Florida. There's Andre Braithwaite. Coach Kim said at halftime, the Comets have made a couple mistakes, missed a couple chances, and Coach also took the time to thank the fans, the great Comets fans that we have in Kansas City. Here is Braithwaite. You know, the Comets not making the playoffs this year, 6-15, but the Comets were among the very top in attendance this year. And I tell you, the Comets have been playing indoor soccer in Kansas City for 30 years, and this town has supported the Comets. And they are a brand here in Kansas City. They're a brand in the MASL, and it's just so great to see that the team came back this year, albeit we had to go through a lot of struggles, a lot of turmoil, a lot of growth. But the fans have stuck with this team. And it's a testament to those fans. And I personally want to thank all of them that are watching the game here tonight. Here's Dieguez to Arico. The ball got through. Saxby closes off the angle. They kick it out front now. Dieguez with another drive. Now a shot and a goal. And on the rebound, it's Rafael Schlimper who finishes it up. And the Tropics now lead 6-4.
Well, Nick, as you were thanking the fans, the Comets were also not thinking. Look at this. Look here on this back post right here. He's sitting all by himself. Same situation. There's 4 Comets around the box. And Dieguez is sitting all by himself. Look at him right here. He's almost level with Saxby. You got Troy McCarroll too high right there. You got Nacho Flores. Both those guys, there's no communication between Saxby, Flores, and McCarroll.
Just over 10 minutes remaining in our silent
Schlemper his 11th on the year. And for Diegas, he gets his 16th assist. 6-4. Tropics over the Comets.
It's a way to come out of the halftime right there if you're a Tropics fan.
Wow.
You kill a power play, almost get an opportunity on goal.
Now the right Salas. Salas with a wall pass picked up by the Comets and then kicked towards the center circle. Comets stay back on defense. Possession remains with Florida. They've had it for maybe the last 2.5 minutes. Foul called on Kansas City. It's either Anthony Grant or Guerrero Pino. It's going to go against Anthony Grant, the guilty party.
Grant is first of the half.
Exactly 9 minutes on the third quarter clock.
We're going to see a run over by Mujin and a left-footed hit by Salas right here.
Delay of game against Kansas
See, something
City.
that's interesting, Nick, I'm sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
here, is you've got Mirko Sandoval taller than both Kloster and Adam James. And Florida puts the taller players in the wall. Do not. It's an interesting difference in philosophy by coaching right there that you see that allows for more set pieces to be able to directly be shot.
By the way, you just called that restart there. It's exactly what they did. Mujin ran over it. Salas did hit it, but it was more of a wall pass to Mujin, who went into the area. It was a well-designed play by Florida. 8.5 to play in the third. Comets trail by 2 with the ball. Pino's got it. Over the top of the defense, over to Anthony Grant. Grant has been quiet here tonight. Back to Pino. Comets are going for some changes, and Pino has to wait for more of his mates to get out on the field. Pino's got nowhere to go with the ball until they get there. Slow to change there for Kansas City. Now Perez. Left side Kelly. Sinclair front and center. Kansas City just not dangerous at the moment. Away from the ball, a foul is called against Florida. Anthony Enrico can't believe it. He and Sinclair got tangled up right at the top of the arc.
They changed the call.
Oh, and that's going to go against Sinclair.
Good job by the referees.
Kansas City foul number 12, Sinclair, is first of the half.
And the ball turned over once again to Florida. Sinclair battling with Enrico to Kelly. Now over to Flores. Nacho. Just inside the Florida yellow line. Over to Perez. Now Sinclair. Right side James. The Kearney, Missouri native passes it to Perez. Now back into James and then to Kelly. 2 local products there. Kelly from Kansas City and James from Kearney, Missouri. Here's Kelly to Sinclair. Pass into the middle is picked off by Florida. Won back by Kansas City. Good move by O'Dane. Right side Perez. Now to Kelly. And broken up by the Tropics. Arico. Wall pass out to Diegas. Diegas still moving forward, and then Nacho got back and closed it down. Nacho back the other way. Comets going for some changes on the fly. To the corner to Leo. Here's Gibson. Gibson shoots above the crossbar. Rebound, header. It goes in. Is that Kyle Williams who got it there?
It's Kyle Williams with the wall of score, Nick. Leo Gibson up above the crossbar right there. Kyle Williams falls it in, finishes with his head. Look at Leo taking a little peek up. Nice little chip ball up high, trying to catch the keeper off guard. Wall of score with the head for Mr. Kyle Williams.
That goal really important for the Comets. You don't want Florida to score the next goal to go up 3. So the Comets trim it to a 1-goal advantage for Florida. And we've got a timeout on the field, so we'll take a break as well. Comets keeper Mark Saxby encouraging his teammates as action's back underway now. Under 6.5 to play in the third. And the Tropics lead by 1. There's Sliwa. Kicks it up towards the half line. Rebounds off the dashers to Pino. Now over to Gibson. Easy goal. Sliwa came way out and gambled. Comets able to find Leo, and he tapped it in. Game now tied at 6. How about that?
A little high pressure. Forced the turnover from Sliwa again here. And then Pino separating with that speed. That's a good ball to Kyle Williams. And then Kyle Williams again. Knew Leo Gibson was there. Knew the collision was coming. First time ball to Leo Gibson. Real good job of separation by Pino right here. Nice clean ball up to Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams with the one touch.
Well, that's the second time in a row that Gibson and Williams have hooked up. This time Gibson on the receiving end, his 29th on the year. And for Kyle Williams, his 6th assist. We are tied at 6 with about 6 to play in the third. Wall pass from Teixeira and the Tropics. Kicked away by the Comets.
Indoor soccer, Nick. Game just flipped on its head right there, didn't it?
So fast. In the blink of an eye. Comets knock it away. Gibson waiting for teammates to join him. Leo will play it back to Saxby. He'll leave the field and Braithwaite will come on. Leo and Andre Braithwaite changing tonight. Anthony Grant's got it. Over to Nacho. Kloster back on the field as well, one of the newcomers for Kansas City. Anthony Grant. Demirko Sandovar, then forward. Boy, Braithwaite's just getting pummeled down there on the ground, isn't he? Now Dieguez. Far side Dos Santos. Wall pass. Pinballs off of Saxby, who's got it again. And then he lobs one out to Anthony Grant. Taken away by Arico of the Tropics and then tripped up by Grant. Close that one wasn't. A little bit more than a foul right there.
Guys don't like getting rolled up on right there, and that's what happened to Rico, and rightfully so. He's a little upset about it. Again, you got another set piece right here, but this time personnel's different for the Tropics.
Drive in there by Teixeira. Deflects to the right side. Teixeira gets it back. Under 5 to play in the third. Back to Sliwa. On up to Anthony Arico, who lost it. Kloster gets it back. Kloster moving to his right. Kloster, a pass, and a goal! The Comets are punishing the Tropics last third. Anthony Grant converts, and the Comets are back on top 7-6.
Yeah, you said it, Nick. They're punishing the Tropics with these turnovers here. Again, this ball, Arico with the turnover, and then Kloster goes early and he's strong. Teixeira tries to get engaged right there, but Klosterman just stays strong. There's nothing wrong right there anyway. Arico probably could have helped out a little bit more. He's kind of ball watching a little bit. Nice easy finish for Anthony Grant from that ball over from Tim Kloster.
Kloster picks up his first professional point.
The German, as he's known.
The German.
A member of Maple Woods Community College, then Park University played for Mr. Ephraim Shimless.
The Park University pipeline strikes again.
AAA coach of the Kansas City Comets.
Just keeps churning them out. Comets walking in again. It was either James or Sinclair that uncorked that one. And the Comets are going to get a good chance here on a restart at the top of the arc. Boy, the Comets, after giving up, falling behind by 2, have now scored 3 straight. Here's Leo with a chance. That one deflected wide. Leo still has it. Good pass down to Perez. Back to Gibson. Shot! Top shelf where Grandma keeps the cookies. What a ball from Perez to Gibson. It's 8-6.
Great ball movement, Nick, huh? Great off-the-ball movement as well. We're going to see on this replay. Probably got to get a timeout if you're the Tropics here, I would think. It's a heck of a run the Comets are on. So watch. Nice ball by Leo, but here's the key. Leo keeps moving off the ball. Nice ball by Brian Perez.
Wow.
Leo Gibson's goal scored at 11 minutes and 15 seconds in the third quarter.
It's off the ball movement right here.
Brian Perez, Leo Gibson, the top 2 scorers for the Kansas City Comets. Gibson is 30th on the year. Remember, Gibson came in as the 4th leading scorer in all of the MASL. And for Brian Perez, he picks up assist number 18 on the year for BP. Assist number 18 for Brian Perez. Meanwhile, at the other end, the ball kicked in there and almost got tapped into the goal there, I believe off the foot of Dieguez, but Saxby's got it. And they quickly get it ahead to Kelly, who falls down. Both teams play on. Now Anthony Grant. Things getting a whole lot looser out there in terms of area to operate for both teams. Here's Dieguez back the other way with Pino chasing him.
That's good looking moves right there by Dieguez, huh? Nice and calm. He got Pino flying at him. He's got McCarroll flying at him. Just good looking. Keeping that possession right there for the Tropics. And that's the thing. The Tropics need a little bit of possession here. They've just given up 4 goals in probably 2 minutes, Nick.
Dos Santos. His pass is picked off by Pino. And then Pino stepped funny on the carpet. He will leave, and Williams will come on for him. Kyle Williams trying to track it down. I'm looking at Guerrero. Looks like he's still standing on the bench. Took a funny step over there right in front of the Comets bench. So we'll keep an eye on that. Under 2 minutes to play in the third. Kansas City a 2-goal lead. Ty Hall with it. Trying to go by Leo. Ty Hall in the corner now with Leo Sandovari. And now some help from Teixeira is there. The ball comes out to Kansas City. Brian Perez forward to Nacho. Nacho a leading pass to Kyle Williams. Oh, Kyle could not get the bouncing ball, and it's taken back by the Tropics. Crossed the line and played by Pereiras. Left for Marco Rodriguez. Rodriguez near side. It comes to Monteleras. 1 minute, 12 seconds left in the third. Pass to Mujin. Mujin a back heel. Saved off the line by Sandovari of the Comets.
What a nifty move from Sandovari.
Boy, really nice move by Mujin and Sandovari being at the right place at the right time. Now Braithwaite with 35 seconds left. Braithwaite tries that 360 move again and loses it. That turns the ball over to Florida with 24 seconds left. There's Salas. Forward to Dieguez. Now Arico. Arico moving to his right. Shoots. Save. Saxby. That one was a beaut. Rodriguez shielding away Arico. 3 seconds left. Still loose. Horn sounds, and that's the end of the third. Good job there by Lucas Rodriguez to shield away Arico in the final seconds. And the Comets explode for 4 straight goals, and they've bounced back to take the lead over the Florida Tropics. At the end of 3, it's Kansas City 8, Florida 6. You're watching MASL TV.
All right, Emma, so here's what's going to happen from Liberty. We're going to put 15 seconds on the clock, and you're going to try to name as many Disney characters as you possibly can. Can you do that?
I think so.
She can do that. Brock, can you give me 15 seconds? Brock is ready. He's looking good in that tuxedo. Here we go. 15 seconds on the clock. Emma, 3, 2, 1.
Mulan, Pocahontas, Ariel, Tinkerbell, Mickey Mouse, Phineas and Ferb, and then Perry the Platypus, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Daffy Duck, Goofy, Pluto.
All right, we'll tally that up. Now turn your attention right down to the video screen, and let's find out how many the Comets goalkeeper can get.
Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Pluto, Daffy Duck, Tasmanian Devil. Not close. Ooh, my favorite character of the Disney characters is Baloo, also the name of my dog. Bagheera, Mowgli, Snow White, the 7 dwarfs, all 7.
All right, Emma, he got 10, you got 12. Congratulations. We're hooking you up with a nice gift card, a little fan versus player. Nate, back to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Steve. Tasmanian Devil, clearly Warner Brothers, so we didn't count that. A reminder that when the Comets win, you win, thanks to our good friends at Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream and Sunfresh. After each Comets home victory, bring a game ticket the next day to any area Sunfresh market to receive a free pint of Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream. There's no better way to celebrate a Comets win the next day than with free ice cream, thanks to Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream and Sunfresh Markets.
And we're back inside Silverstein. Comets lead the Florida Tropics by a score of 8-6. Well, the MASL playoffs are going to get underway here on Thursday. We've talked a little bit about the Central, but in the East, their series will get underway with Syracuse hosting a Game 1 on Thursday, March 8th. That'll be at On Center War Memorial, 6:05 Kansas City time, and then Game 2 will be Sunday on March 11th, and that'll be at CQ in Towson, Maryland. These two teams, Syracuse and Baltimore, have played 4 consecutive one-goal games. Of course, Baltimore is trying to make it back-to-back-to-back championships. William Vanzella has not played since January 19th when the Blast hosted the Comets, and he left the game after 8 minutes after what was being described as a strained adductor. So will Vanzella be there for the playoffs? I don't know. Syracuse played tonight against Baltimore in a game that doesn't mean anything, and Syracuse was without Slavica Ubaparapovic, who was suspended point accumulation for fouls, penalties. Saxby off his line. Ty Hall is there. Hall played it into the area, but Pino had scrambled back for the Comets, and Pino comes chugging across the midfield stripe. Lays it off to Adam James. James comes out with it, shoots! Missed it just on the near side. Now Kelly try to funnel it back into. It's kicked out of bounds, and the Comets are going to have it right at the top of the arc. I'm not so sure of that call, but Mugin does not agree with it.
And if I'm Freddie Mugin, I'd be just as upset. That's I don't know that's there. Pat Kelly's kicking the ball, and Freddie's sticking his foot out to block it, and it's deflected. And that's very unfortunate.
That's exactly what Mugin's telling him.
Probably he's articulating that a little bit better, though.
I would think so. Leo. Shot and a goal! What a good restart from Leo to Lucas. And the Comets extend their lead. It's 9-6.
And if you're Freddie Mugin, that's the reason why you don't want that. You've had 6 or 7 set pieces that you've been giving up, and eventually you're gonna score off of one. But this is good ball movement right now. Nick, you've got nice clean finish there by Lucas Rodriguez.
Well, it looks like a player has been ejected for Florida. Guys up in the booth, I don't know if you guys got that, but
we had a little bit of
Marco Rodriguez.
Yeah, after the play, Freddie Mugin again articulated his message to referee Brian Martin, and a couple guys got a little bit too close to the referee, is what I was able to see as the thing was the lights were out. But the frustration by the Tropics is players it's warranted, Nick. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, we try to be very unbiased with our broadcast here. I would be extremely upset if I was Freddie Mugin. I'd be extremely upset if I was the Tropics. You just gave up a goal on a foul, top of the arc restart that shouldn't have occurred.
So there's going to be a handful of misconduct penalties handed out here. Marco Rodriguez, the Toronto, Canada native, has been shown the red card and has been sent off.
You see Brian Martin, referee, talking to Clay Roberts, the head coach of Florida Tropics, and Clay's he's probably very simply just saying there's no way that should have occurred in the first place. And then Brian's telling him why the player got ejected.
And he doesn't believe that. Whatever Brian Martin told him there, not agreeing with.
So now it's going to be, interesting to see if you're a Tropics fan, you got to be careful. You don't want this thing to snowball too much, right? Now you've given up 5 unanswered goals, okay? Then you're going to play down a man on a power play, which, honestly, if you're a Tropics fan, And going against the Comets, you shouldn't be that concerned, okay? Because that number, it started at 18%, Nick, and now we got to be down to 15 or whatever.
8 for 43.
I'm going to stop doing the math on that. We're just going to say not very good.
So, yeah, Ty Hall sent to the penalty box, so it'll be a 5v4. The Comets will be on the power play. Comets 0 for 1 tonight. Anthony Grant's got it, moves to his right. The pass behind Kyle Williams. And now away from the goal. It'll allow Tropics to reset their power play defense. Here's BP looking for Williams on the far post. Deflected by Florida, picked up by Leo into the corner. Kyle Williams to Gibson. Now to Perez. Perez's pass blocked by Dos Santos. 1 minute and 19 seconds on the advantage to Kansas City. Perez, front and center Rodriguez. Leading pass into the corner to Leo. Bounced up high. Shot blocked by Dos Santos. Correction, that was Monteleris on the block there. Rodriguez. Perez blocked by Arico. Now Nacho with a drive. That deflects off the glass above the crossbar, comes down on the field. Florida to Cheshera. Now Dos Santos. And they'll kick it long. Here comes Arico at the other end of the field. Arico going to go against Leo. Arico still moving forward. Arico shoots, making a bid for his third. Short-handed one, and he fanned on it.
Great effort by Arico. Great job by the Tropics to get out of that.
And then taken down, Rodriguez. Foul called on Florida.
Comets are very fortunate. Arico did everything you could ask right there, and he just tripped at the last possible second and missed that ball.
Gibson to Lucas. Look out, folks.
Foul on Dos Santos, his first of the half. The Kansas City Soccer Dome has been serving the soccer community for nearly 35 years. It's proud to be official.
So with 20 seconds left on the advantage to Kansas City, Florida will have it, and they'll be able to burn a good amount of time here. That's left on the power play to Kansas City. Comets with a 3-goal lead. And as fast as goals have come tonight, that's not a large lead for Kansas City. Florida is going to kill off this power play once again. 8 for 44 are the Comets on power plays this season. 8 for 44. Ty Hall out of the penalty box, running down the right side. He shoots, and that one deflects just above the crossbar. Under 12 to play in the game. Marico gets shoved down to the ground, and a penalty, correction, foul, just a foul, called on Ty Hall.
Tropics foul number 15, Hall is first of the
Gibson has 3 goals and 2 assists tonight for Kansas City.
Great job by Clay Roberts' players right there to, I know we were focusing on the Comets' lack of, production on power plays, but also let's give some credit here to, the Tropics and how they executed their power play kill.
Tropics on average for the year for penalty killing, 65%. That's a pretty good clip. They've only allowed 11 power play goals and 31 times that they've been down. And that actually is now 11 in 33 chances they've been down. So their percentage is going up.
So, Nick, I'm going to point out something right here that a referee group probably doesn't want to hear, but same situation. That ball was kicked, and Nacho blocked the ball out of bounds behind his own 3-line. That's an identical situation that happened to Freddie Mugin. Comets were awarded a
good give and go by the Tropics. Mugin right in the middle of that one with Rafael Schlemper. Comets trying to counter back the other way. Anthony Arico and Tim Closter are back there, and Arico tracks it down for the Tropics.
Great job by Arico right there. He's been working really hard for the Tropics this whole match.
Sliwa. Picked up by Sinclair of the Comets. Comes off the boards, and a quick outlet from Sinclair to Diegues. Back to Dos Santos, now back to Diegues. Diegues shoots. Saxby got a piece and knocked it out of bounds. Corner kick coming up to Florida.
Counterattack transition by the Tropics right there. The Comets got back, and then Saxby made the good save. Transition defense has been a issue for the Comets this season.
Restart in the left wing corner. Mujin to Salas, who ran up on it, but deflected partially by Kelly. Now Diegues had it poked away. It comes to Rodriguez, and Lucas has got some space. Lucas in the middle, had it broken up. Now a shot, and Troy McCarroll ends up scoring for the Comets. His first goal as a member of the Comets. It's now 10-6. A lot to take in there on that play.
It's an ugly goal, Nick. I think we're going to see here on the replay. You know, Pat Kelly's flashing out. Lucas Rodriguez is running with the ball here. And then the replay's a little late on it, but there's bodies all over the place. Got Montelares getting tripped up by Lucas, and so got Lucas running with the ball here.
They're going to wave off the goal here. Mujin goes down. They're going to call a foul before the goal. Now, there's one thing is happening tonight, and I don't know if this is a situation where they may have gone over there and looked at it. Ron Corey is allowed to use instant replay tonight.
Our goal is disallowed, called off.
So no goal there, and it's going to be a 2-minute penalty is going to go against the Comets. And so they must have gone back and they must have reviewed it. Now, there are only a certain situations that the referees are allowed to use replay. Apparently this is one of them here. So they've gone back and they've looked at something, and they've decided to take away the goal, Comets goal, and then assess the Comets a 2-minute tripping penalty. There's a look at Troy McCarroll, the Scotsman.
Scotsman's like, hey, man, what do I got to do here? I was going to get my goal. I'll tell you what's interesting to me on that play, okay? I said it was ugly, right? Lucas definitely fouled Montelares. Mujin got kind of rolled up over on that in there. I don't know that was a 2-minute penalty on Lucas Rodriguez. I believe that it was a foul, though, for sure. Regardless, you know, Lucas has got a breakaway right there, and he's touching the ball so heavy, just even putting him out in that situation where he just needs to play the ball to Pat Kelly. But if you're a Tropics fan, sorry, Nick, to interrupt you. Goals called off the board. Just under 10 minutes still left in the game, and you're down by 3 and on the power play.
Florida, 38% on the power play this year, 9 of 24. Comets, 50% penalty killing. They've allowed 20 goals in 40 times they've been down. So let's see what happens here. Man advantage for Florida. Teixeira, a drive, a save. Another one goes wide. Now Kelly breaks out for the Comets. Kelly with the ball bouncing on top of the dasher boards eventually goes out of bounds. Off of Kansas City, and Florida will have it. Up to Leo. Now Pino. Comets play keep away as long as they can. 1-16 on the advantage, and Leo kicked it out of bounds. That's going to give Florida a great chance here on the restart of the top of the arc. That's unusual off the foot of Leo Gibson right there.
Very, very poor decision by Leo. Now you've got 4 guys on a set piece here defending it.
And then Salas comes over and hits a blistering shot that caroms off the crossbar and goes up into the ceiling, and now we have another penalty. This one's going to go against Florida. And so we're going to have a 4v4 situation here for the next minute and 7 seconds here, and a Comet player shaken up on the far side. It's
Pat Kelly down there on the. You see this header by Saxby coming out like a wild man, and then,
Salas.
You can even see the reaction of his teammates over there.
Florida Tropics penalty. Number 9. Salas, 2 minutes for pushing. He will head to the Mark Ferguson attorney law penalty box.
4v4, Nick. I will tell you, the field is huge at 4v4.
Freddie Mugen taking ice on that left knee.
It's good observation by you right there, and good work by our camera crew. I thought when I saw on the power play for the Tropics, I didn't see Mugen out on the floor. That made me kind of think that knock that he took with Lucas Rodriguez a little bit earlier might have been a little bit more to it. And it's unfortunate to see Freddie over there getting ice.
Looks like his right knee. He's got the ice bag on. 4v4. Boy, you're right, Bud. The field is wide open. So for the next minute, they're going to have 4v4. Here's Arico. And Arico still going forward. Boy, Saxby coming off his line to knock it free. Tell you, Saxby for just his 4th game, but Leo's got some space to Nacho. Nacho all the way back to Saxby. Now Pino, 30 seconds. Now Pino. Boy, if he just would have touched it maybe one more time, he had some open space. But Florida takes it back. Here's Dos Santos. 11 seconds left on the Florida penalty. Kansas City will have a player come back on the field, and they'll have another advantage here for about 50 seconds. So the penalty over, Rodriguez comes back out, and now Kansas City goes on the power play, and they immediately turn the ball over to Peter Sliwa and the Tropics. High pressure from the Comets. They get the ball out to Pereiras. Pereiras on over to Rodriguez. Now back to Pereiras. And then to Shera.
You couldn't even tell the Comets are on a power play right now, Nick, by the amount of possession that the Tropics have.
Comets 0 for 2 tonight as they get it on over to Schlemper. In the corner, Perez. It's like the Comets are playing defense here. It's like the Comets are down a man. 2 seconds left. And that's going to do it. Now the Comets 0 for 3.
0 for 3, and not on that power play there at the end, not a lick of possession, not even one opportunity on goal. Quite frankly, the Tropics were more dangerous playing down a man.
Whistle and a foul called against Kansas City. Tonight's attendance, 4,018. 4,018 here at Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. Thank you for being here on the annual mascot night here at the Comets.
All right, Nick. Mauricio Salas down by 3. 4 guys in the wall, and not one of them want to be in the wall. I guarantee you right now when they're looking at that left foot that's getting ready to strike that ball by Salas.
Look at this. Oh, another drive, and that one off the foot of Pereiras. Sails up but stays in. Now Anthony Grant. The Comets shield away Salas. Saxby's up and throwing to Anthony Grant. Anthony had it knocked away by Monteleras. Florida once again back on offense. Here's Teixeira to Salas. Back to Teixeira. The Tropics have lost one of their best offensive players in Freddie Mugin. He's basically lost for the game. He's sitting on the bench with a pack of ice. Boy, there was a good chance there by Teixeira. Why didn't he take that ball?
I'm not quite sure, Nick. I mean, he got in, and it was a good opportunity right there. I'm not sure why he passed it back across. It's probably what his teammates asking him the same thing. Go ahead and take that. Get your 3 points.
So media timeout on the field. Media timeout on the field. We'll take a break. 6:01 left to play in the game. Comets 9, Tropics 6. Yes! Freddie Mugin for the win. Oh.
MVP of the game right there.
Golly.
I'm going to go ahead and award it to one of my favorite players in the league, Freddie Mugin right there. He gets it, folks.
I gotta give it up to our game day crew, our folks who run it's really fun.
It's a great job.
It's really, really fun. So come on back next year. I can't wait till we get rolling again in the fall of next year. And look at Tim Kloster. He's got his sleeves rolled up. The gun show is out. He's going.
The German.
Oh. 6 minutes to go in the 17-18 MASL campaign. Saxby throws it long, headed by McCarroll. Touched back to the half line. Pino's got it for the Comets. Here's Saxby. Forward to James. Rico is there for Florida. Somehow the ball stays in bounds, and Rodriguez will kick it back to Saxby. Saxby right up Main Street to Pino. McCarroll flicks it forward to James. Comets really not threatening here. They're just working. It's more possession than anything else right now, right, bud?
Yeah, very much. You've seen with the Baltimore Blast, right? You're up. Why risk going forward with the ball? Because then you can create a turnover. Just knock it around the back and stretch the other team out and make them take the ball from you. And then as you're doing that, the clock's just ticking and ticking and ticking.
By the way, speaking of Baltimore, we'll try to get a couple of scores. Baltimore-Syracuse played tonight. Also Monterey and Sonora played. Restart by Kansas City. Here's Leo. Oh, he played it to Kyle Williams. He got it to Kyle. Kyle could not redirect it on target. And I think Mr. Williams needs a hug. Sort of really disappointed in that effort right there. Meanwhile, at the other end, Ty Hall. Blast from the right side. is blocked by the Comets. Four and a half to play in the game. 9-6 Kansas City on top of Florida. Nacho wisely turns and plays it back to Leo. Gibson into the corner to Anthony Grant. Anthony lost it, and the Tropics quickly get it ahead to Dieguez, their leading goal scorer. He couldn't hang on. Here's Kloster. Those two guns out there. Kicks it towards Comet side of the field. Syracuse defeated Baltimore. Here's Kloster in the corner. And Sliwa couldn't hold on to it. They're calling the goal off. Anthony Grant was there to put in the rebound, but Brian Martin says no goal. Brian Martin called no goal there.
Here's your replay, Nick. Got a nice little off-the-ball run by Tim Kloster, Nick. And
let's watch this again here. What could possibly be the reason to call that off? Did they say he thought maybe he had it in his grasp?
Sliwa never had possession.
Another questionable call. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in the game. Score remains 9-6. Syracuse defeats Baltimore 6-4 tonight. And in the fourth quarter, Sonora is on top of Monterey 9-6. Sonora and Monterey, of course, will meet in the Southwest divisional round. Their series gets underway on Thursday, March 8th, down at Hermosillo. And then on Sunday, March 11th at 5:05 at Arena Monterrey. Frank Taillou, could he be the league's MVP once again? Monterrey's record 20-1 going into tonight's game. Sonora 14-7. Monterrey undefeated at home. Sonora 10-1 down at Hermosillo. Here's James. A shot and a save by Sliwa. James again, wall pass. A little bit off the mark there. Kyle Williams was in the area, but could not catch up to it. Comets leading by 3 goals, approaching 2 minutes to play. 2 minutes to play in the game. This is the last regular season game in the MASL. Playoffs start on Thursday. Here's Dieguez. His drive left and off the top of the dasher board and goes out of bounds. 1:48 left in the game.
Don't forget, fans, you can join us on the field for our Simmons Bank post-game autograph session immediately following the game.
It would appear the Comets are going to go out on a good note here in the 17-18 campaign. One minute, 28 seconds left. No sign that the 6th attacker will come out here. Both teams basically playing for pride. Here's Rodriguez. Comets, they'll just back it up. Approaching 1 minute to play. That ought to do it for the game. Good wall pass by Pino. Guerrero still going forward to James. Now Nacho. A drive deflected by Sliwa. And a shot and a goal by Adam James. The Comets reach double digits. It's 10-6. 10-6 Kansas City. After 2 goals have been disallowed, that one finally counts, and it's a 4-goal bulge.
Good two-touch finish by Adam James right there. Nice job by Pino, Nacho, Adam James. Unselfish ball by Adam right there. Go. Pino sitting on the back post saying, hey, guys, what about me?
Well, 49 seconds left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 straight goals by the Comets. And the fans rising to their feet one final time this year. Not only to applaud the Comets, but let's also applaud the effort of the Florida Tropics tonight. 4,018 people showed up to watch the Comets get their 7th victory of the season. And they go out a winner. Florida will fall to 10-12. And that's it. That's the end of the MASL regular season, and the Comets victorious here tonight. Final score is 10-6. 10-6.
Good way to end the season for the Comets. Nice polished game right there for the most part, Nick. Heck of a third quarter response, but really for both teams, quite frankly. Tropics came out firing, scored 2 goals unanswered in the third quarter. Comets come back with 4 unanswered in the third, and then at that last final one here in the fourth to kind of ice the game away.
There's Leo Gibson. He is the man of the match. 3 goals and 2 assists for the great one, Leo Gibson. 5-point performance, came in tonight as the 4th leading scorer. I think it's safe to say Leo will cement another great season as a goal scorer and an assist man and a leader on his team. Spoke to Leo earlier this season, says he would love to stick around for 2-3 years more, and why not? With the way he's playing, Bud.
Keep scoring goals that way. See a good shot of 2 great MASL guys, Freddie Mushin and Leo Gibson.
And we wish the best for Freddie Mushin. He was moving around okay, so hopefully it's not too terribly bad. But we wish the very best for Freddie Mushin and really all of the Florida Tropics. It's off season now. What do you think the Comets will take from this season here? As you look forward to next season, I know the club is already working on a few things, but 7-15 on the year, got some players. You've seen some players in one season now. You know what you've got there.
Well, I think you've got one of it. Like you've got some solid situation with the organization and stability. So that's good for the players to know that there's stability. They know they've got a job. Come next season. They know this arena is going to be full. They know the season holders are back behind them. Giving them the support that they need. And let's be honest, Nick. Quite frankly, Kansas City is one of the top places to play in the league. Okay, where else are you going to play in front of 4,000 people on a Sunday night? On a team that's 6-15 coming in. You just don't see that around the league. It's a good place to play. Top trainers, top doctors, top support, top market presence. I think what you're going to see is back to what we're used to next year for the and then moving forward for the MASL. This season playoffs are going to be certainly exciting. For the league, despite the Comets not being a member of it. Soles de Sonora
and Monterey. How about that series? Here's Leo, our man of the match.
Give the fans something they deserve. It's been overdue.
And how was it for you tonight? Big game for you tonight. What was any difference for you tonight that felt good?
Well, the difference is we've been this has been long coming. We've been working all season, just been falling short of. And it's just nice to win, and it was our goal to make sure that we come out here today and leave the fans with something special, and just tell them thank you for taking their hard-earned money and buying tickets and coming out here every day and supporting us.
And how great is it to see these guys already lined up right now, excited to see you. One last word you'd like to say to these Kansas City Comets fans?
I just want to say thank you on behalf of the boys and I. We appreciate you guys. We know that you guys deserve more than what this season has given, but the future looks good. So we want to say thank you, and we look forward to seeing you guys again.
One more time for Leo Gibson. Congratulations. Make sure you guys follow along in the offseason. Continue to watch as these Kansas City Comets will bring in some more excitement coming up next year.
That is Steve Serrano, our MC here at Comets games. You can see Troy McCarroll shaking hands with a lot of the fans right there in those perfect seats right along the field there. What a great vantage point. So Leo kind of underscoring what this is all about. It's all about the fans, and since this is the last game of the regular season, I want to personally thank everybody who has helped out on the broadcast this year. We've had Brad Zimmerman. Tonight we have Devrin Brower, Chris Wright. I'd also like to thank the Comets front office. From you, Brian Budzinski, to Scott Levinson, Vice President, Jeff Houston, our Director of Marketing and Communications, Mike Rodriguez, our Account Executive, Brent Garrison, another Account Executive, Steve Serrano, our Game Day MC, Nate Herron, our Public Address Announcer, Seth Parker, who handles all of our statistics for the games. I tell you, it makes our job easy. It makes for a great product that goes over the air to the great indoor fans all across the country. Can't be more proud to work with a great crew, and thankful and really looking forward to next year.
Yeah, Nick, and thank you, man, right? I mean, you're literally, one of the best, in my opinion, the best play-by-play guy in the league, and I'm biased, obviously, but I enjoy working with you. I think the fans at home, I think the feedback that we've heard is from a game day production standpoint, we're one of the tops in the league, and you're a big part of that, and I appreciate you continuing to do what you do and all the support you give our franchise. And yeah, man, I think you'll see what we're used to seeing, come October, November next year.
Don't forget, continue to follow the Comets on their social media channels. And also, if you would like to get your son involved in the Comets during the offseason, how about those Comets camps? 888-9-COMETS. 888-9-COMETS. Get your kids involved in Comets camps this year with some of the players there that'll be coaching. So that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Once again, the Comets victorious in their final game of the regular season, 10-6 over the Florida Tropics. For everyone here at Silverstein Ice Centers Arena, I'm Nick Vassos. Have a great weekend and good night from Independence, Missouri.